think this is a good note for everybody out there.
He says that I don't pull well on TikTok, so
he doesn't.
It's
just a fact. It just doesn't pull well. It's called social media for a reason, and it's not selfish media.
I just gotta clear something up. You weren't the 12th man on the field.
Right.
There is no easy way to get anything ever.
This is Mornings with Matt, the Deering Acting Studio podcast, where we discuss the connection between life and acting.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings with Matt. Today we are talking about Chapter 5 in the book, Be a Producer. So I'm going to start off with this quote here. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. That's by Milton Berle. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. So this is one of the big concepts that I believe in firmly, the idea of make your own success. Don't wait for anybody. And I want to be very clear on this because I think that some people have taken this advice and they've been doing very well, and I'm super happy about that. But it doesn't mean stop training. It doesn't mean stop growing. It means that you just need to take your success into your own hands, and you have to understand what is success. As a matter of fact, once you start producing, once you start creating your own content, you will begin to find out that you need to train more, actually. Like there's going to be additional things that you're going to have to do. So for instance, when I started writing my first book and I finally got done with it, I realized real quick that I needed an editor. I had to learn better how to write. I needed to take classes in that. I needed to get coaching in that, etc. And I'm still in that phase, still in the learning phase, and I probably always will be when it comes to any pursuit that I want to continue in my life. I need to continue training. So then, you take like this show, for instance, and this shows an exact example of this chapter, which is become a producer. In other words, create your own success. Well, we started the show, and now, A, a big part of the show is learning. But B, I mean, literally, we're going to school all the time. I'm going to YouTube school, going to recording school, going to voice school, like learning all these different things. So understand that your training is never going to stop, but you can put things into your own hands, and you can redefine what success looks like. And that is really important. What do we got on there? Astrid. Good morning, Astrid. Yeah. It's so good to see you.
Every morning. Her and Ben. Like I said, I really wish I could change their YouTube name to Astrid and Ben.
That's right. Well, because they live together, so that'll do it.
Yeah. And Caspin. You can't forget about Caspin the dog.
Caspin the friendly dog.
Have you met Caspin, by the way?
I don't think so.
He's been outside the studio a couple of times, like when she's in class.
Okay.
He is the most lovable, like big pit bull. And it's like he'll come up to you and just like love on you, and he doesn't really try to like jump up on you. It's more just like he'll nuzzle his head against you, like pet me. He's the sweetest dog.
Dogs are the most amazing animals because they get their payday from love, and I think that's awesome. If you think about the idea of loving people, of being unselfish, a dog is a perfect example, because a dog literally makes its living by just loving and serving and giving, and then they just get back in return. They just straight up the the dogs get fed and they get shelter and they get whatever, and all they give you back in return is like a tail wag and love. Like that's it. And it's funny because no matter if you're late, no matter if you're angry or whatever, like the dog, a dog who loves you, like loves you straight up no matter
Yeah.
what. It's a cool thing.
This is a crazy quote, and it's kind of funny that this came up on the show like weirdly this morning. But Chris shared this quote with me because he got a new dog, but he said because we were just talking about the importance of pets and animals, and he said that he heard this quote about a dog is a huge piece of your life, but you are all of theirs. And I was like, oh, that's so true. You know? Like you think about it, and it's so true. They live to be your best friend and to please you. They understand that you're their caretaker.
I'm gonna flip that really quick, and then we got to get to this chapter, obviously. So we don't want to get divulged into dogs too long. But there's that you're their whole life if you're the one caring for them right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just you though. So and that's fact. So in other words, like if my mom's dog stayed at my house and I was caring for the dog and whatnot, and I came home, like I would get all of the dog's attention. So I think what's interesting about that quote actually is that you're all that's in the dog's life in the moment that you're there in front of them. And that's the whole purpose. That's the whole point behind the listening book that I'm writing, is to give somebody all of what you have, all of your attention, completely connected at all times. And dogs do that effortlessly.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so to be a producer here, why do I say that in the book? Why is this such an important thing? Well, they say in our industry that you've got to have tough skin because you're going to get denied a bunch. Is that true? Well, of course. Of course that's true. You're going to audition for things. You're in an industry that everybody wants to be a part of, and so therefore there's going to be competition. Well, that's all of life, by the way. If you were going to be, I don't know, applying for all the Ivy League schools in the nation, and let's just say you had a list of 100 Ivy League schools, like the best of the best schools, I could say the same thing to you. I'd be like, look, if you're going to audition for those schools, if you're going to apply for those schools, you got to have a thick skin because a lot of them are going to say no. That would be true. Like, that is absolutely true. There's no difference between that and auditioning as an actor. So what would you say to somebody auditioning for the schools where you'd say, or applying to these different schools, is you'd say, all right, cool, but you also need to take your education into your own hands. Like, you don't want to just rely on the school to tell you that you're smart or to tell you that you're good enough. No, like, you need to take your life to the next level. You have to take responsibility for that on your own. And so what does that mean? Now, to be a producer in any way, shape, or form, you have an outlet to use your talent to better the world in some way and to advance in whatever you're doing. I'll use Jay Jordan as an example. He had come to me a while back, and he was asking me about things, and I gave him this idea to do real estate videos. And he started doing them consistently, and guys out there, he's consistent, he's doing that thing, so he's producing as an actor while still making more money at his current day job. Smart. Like, that's just a smart thing to do. So what do you produce? I mean, that's one of the big questions that people ask is like, okay, well then what do I produce? Well, that's a good question. And I think you need to start with you. So don't underestimate what you might know. So if you know how to knit a sweater, that's a skill that other people might not know. And all you got to do is teach it. And if you put on a camera and you show people how to knit, you've got an episode of a show right there. And if I don't know how to knit, and you do, and you're willing to show me on a video, well, then I'm going to watch it. That's a good place to start. Then if you can take that knitting a sweater and you can make it entertaining somehow with learning how to edit and learning how to write a little script and how to be a funny character, you're probably going to get more views. Because if I had a choice between watching your sweater knitting video that's entertaining and somebody else's that's not entertaining, I'm probably going to pick the entertaining one. So there you go. Another example would be if you're trying like experimenting with something. So let's say that you, I don't know, you like comedy or you like different things. Like you know who's been doing this recently, who I know watches is Nick Mulata, and Nick's one of our Chaos Comedy players, and he's taken a very active role in the troupe. And also as an individual, Nick has found a little niche on Instagram where he creates these funny little sketch commercial things. And what's interesting is I don't go on Instagram that much. So the people who do things and do them consistently, once I know what they do, I'm much more likely to watch it. So now if you see Nick Mulata's face and you see a little like, you know, title or something that you can tell is going to be something funny, I'm like, nah, I'm going to check it out, see if he's funny today. Like that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
So now, because you know you're producing, you're putting things out there, and you're contributing back to your community, like you're doing both, you're finding ways to get other people to lift you up by you lifting them up. So you become responsible for your own life while at the same time being somebody who's willing to give and sacrifice for others and for yourself.
100%. Yeah, I think one of my favorite. This is just facts here, but the Chaos promo he made when it was his first show is the best self promo I've ever seen for Chaos Comedy show. It was so funny, and basically what he did was he just jump cut a bunch of different characters and like takes of him trying to announce like, hey, I have a show, like my first show is this Saturday, and like the fails, the good ones, the ones that were actually impressive, like all cut up together, and it was so funny. I love that video.
Yeah, that's good. So going back to starting with what you got here, will you jump onto my personal Instagram
Yeah,
and then go way back in time?
sure. This might take a minute.
That's okay. I'll fill the space. It's no
Going
problem.
back into time.
So I'm talking on this, and you don't have to do that live. You can. Well, I'm sure you have me on the camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So going back to this idea of starting with what you got. What do I mean by that? Well, first and foremost, as I mentioned before, it's start with what you got. In other words, like what do you know? Like who are you right now? Produce from there. That's great. But also use the equipment you've got. Use what you have at your disposal. The problem is a lot of times people will focus on the equipment. They're going to focus on what they don't have. Here, we're pretty far. Look for ones just after Brian in the hospital there, while he's in the hospital, because I want to show a couple clips here. So use your phone. If you have a phone, you have a camera, you have audio equipment. There we go, right there. Stop right there. That's good. I'm gonna show some of these.
All right.
And deal with like the situation you're in. So the example I'm about to show here. As you know, Brian's in the hospital right now, and it happens to be a pandemic, which is such an annoying thing because I can't go see him whenever I want to. But I guess he'll have to watch the show if he wants to talk to me. So back when Brian was in the hospital last time, I literally shouldered this thing, because I try to find ways to give and that are unique to me, instead of just doing what everybody else does. Mm-hmm. It's just a weird personality thing I have. Like, my wife knows this, so I'm sorry if this is annoying or offensive, but I don't give flowers on Valentine's Day. It's weird, but I just don't believe in it. I would rather give my wife flowers 11 months of the year and not in February, because I don't want to be told when I'm supposed to like love my wife. Like, I love her so much all the time that I don't want to be like one of the people that like, you get flowers on Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's Day. No, like, you get flowers just because of who you are. So she doesn't ever get flowers on Valentine's Day. That's kind of one of the rules. and we'll acknowledge that we love each other and stuff like that always. But same thing with like the date nights. Like, why would we go and sit in a crowded restaurant and wait 2 hours to sit down when you could just go out the weekend before, or the weekend after? Like, no crowds. I don't know. That's just me. I'm weird. But anyway, so I wanted to love Brian in a way that was unique. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna just go down there to the hospital room. I think it was daily for a while, but probably more like twice a week, 3 times a week. And I'm just gonna make him laugh. So I showed up and I called this rehab comedy, and I'd show up and Brian could literally like. He was so sick and he was like all depressy and stuff that he could barely open his eyes. And I would wake him up and I'd force him to do these little comedy sketches with me so that we would laugh, so that he could laugh, so that he could remember what he was fighting for, so that he could keep fighting. So this is me being a producer on my Instagram page. Go to the first one there. I think it's, I think that's me looking all dopey right there.
Okay.
That's the first one, I think.
You'll have to turn up that channel.
Yeah. All right, here you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, great.
It's muted down there.
Oh, cool. Let's see.
Hit that. All right, then go back. Now start it over. Should work.
Sounds good.
Sorry about the delay here, but these are this is a little clip here. You can go back to my Instagram way back when, and you can see me producing some of this comedy for Bry Guy. And I was just doing little comedy sketches here. But what's interesting is this is some of the stuff I'm the most proud of. And I had nothing. I had zero equipment. I had zero help. It was just me and my phone. And no editing equipment. Like, I literally just did it all myself right on the phone. And it took a lot of like thought, but it didn't like ruin my whole day or anything like that. It was like, okay, I went and I did this thing very purposeful for about an hour, 2 hours, and then like I was done, and then move on to the next thing. And I put it up without having to be perfect. So these are just like some little funny jokes. All right, go ahead, play one of these.
Mr. Sweeney, I work for the hospital. Would you like some pet therapy today?
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Good boy, Mr. Sweeney. Good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. You like it when you get pet?
Where's the
Here,
dog?
you want this? Mr. Sweeney, I work for the hospital. Would you...
Where's the dog?
Where's the dog?
All right, go to the next one.
All right.
Dude, stop. Seriously, quit it. That actually feels good. You can keep doing that.
Rehab's fun. Waka waka.
Creepy, but really fun. I don't
Dude,
know.
stop.
All right, go to the next one. Yeah, this is good. I make Brian dress up.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Brian, man up. We need the views.
I don't care about views.
You care now about views?
Ow!
Everything okay in here?
Yeah, just playing around. If you're watching, help. I don't want to.
If you're watching, help. All right, let's play a cut. Let's play 2 more.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this.
I'm in a bad mood.
I'm in a bad mood.
Oh, this isn't one. Of
No,
them.
dude, I said I was in a bad mood.
No, bro.
All right, here you go. Here, then play the next one. There we go.
Rehab taste test.
Water.
Ding,
Platelets.
ding.
Doctor's pee.
Ding.
Rehab taste. The reason I show this is because I'm telling you, work with what you got. Okay, so these little sketches I did. I go into Brian's room and I would look around. I go, what's here? Okay, there's a weird little doll. Somebody got him one of these little dolls. I'm like, what's funny about that? What could be funny about that? What's funny about the fact that I can't even wake Brian up to do the sketch right now? Then I made a sketch. Brian he's not known for being clean, like a clean dude. He's not known for it, for being super organized and stuff. It's not like what he's known for. So even in the hospital, he would have like tons of styrofoam cups everywhere. That would drive me nuts if I was in the hospital. Like, I would want my tray to be super clean just because it would drive me nuts. It doesn't drive Brian nuts. He would just have tons of styrofoam cups. So I remember being over there one day and I saw just all these styrofoam cups and I'm like, ugh, gross. I'm like, and I thought to myself, like, how do you even know what's in what? You can't even tell. And I'm like, ding, there's a sketch right there. So the bottom line is, whatever you got going on right now, whatever's your deal, whatever's on your heart, whatever's right in front of you, boom, that's your show. That's where you start. And it doesn't have to be good. You might think those were terrible. It's fine. Doesn't matter. That was a bunch of years ago, and I like it. I'm proud of it. And then talk about views. Nobody's even seen them. my account's private. I don't even put it out. Yeah, I did that for me. I did that for Brian. I did that for personal, like, just, whatever. And so that's what I recommend you do. And more than anything, it should be for that reason. It should be because you want to do it, because you want to put something out, because you want to impact somebody or help somebody or love the world in some way. That's why you should do your show. If you go out and you're going to buy a camera and buy a bunch of microphones and do a bunch of stuff because you're trying to get the views and you're trying to get like some kind of fame or you're trying to whatever, that I don't believe that purpose is going to work because you don't have a strong why behind what you're doing. And without a strong why, there's no way you'll be consistent. And without consistency, you got nothing.
Dang. That is straight up facts, guys. Joey Sweeney facts.
All right. So you're going to produce a show. We talked about that. All right. So the last part here I want to go over, and the show's going to be a little bit quick today, but is how to build your following and the fact that you need to build a following, and it's important to build a following. So this is this is one of those oxymoron deals because I just said 2 seconds ago, don't do it for that. Don't do it for that reason. True. But at the same time, the only way to build a following, the only way to get sort of any kind of momentum going is to set little goals for yourself and again, go back to your why. So we decided a while back, actually, even with this show, I remember having a specific conversation with Brian about this, and I said, dude, here's the deal, man. We've got like 6 or 8. This is like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. We've got like 6 or 8 loyal viewers who tune in every day. They love the show. We need to make more shows just for them. Like we need to talk to that audience. We got to love that. That's how you grow organically. You connect with the people that are connecting with your stuff. And I don't care if it's one person or 7 people or 1,000 people or 100,000 people. You got to connect, and you got to deliver truth. You got to deliver honesty, and that's how you can organically build an audience, because then people start sharing your stuff. When they love it, they will share it. And then you do things that are for an audience that is connected. There's other ways of building following, like doing different contests and doing things where you buy followers and things like that. There's a bunch of shortcuts out there. And though some of those work temporarily, it doesn't work for your long-term gain. And long-term, you want people to find you, to want to like you, and to be like connected to you in a certain way. And from that's how you build a following. You also build a following by giving, by the way, by being willing to follow others. But you can't just do it lackadaisically, just like going out there, I'm going to follow you, wait till you follow me back. If you don't follow me back, I'm going to unfollow you. Like, it's got to be, hey, I like your stuff. I'm going to support your stuff. I'm going to follow your stuff. I'm going to share your stuff. I'm going to be generous with your stuff. Maybe one day you are back, I don't know, but maybe somebody else will be with mine. Like, you're giving to give, not to get. And a great reminder of this was my son the other day. So I was watching something on YouTube, and this like video popped up as a suggestion, and it was bowling ball hits trampoline from a bridge.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I'd never seen it before.
A ton.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, that's funny. I bet my kids would want to watch that. And it's entertaining, and it's also educational, and they're gonna learn. And it was like they taught them about how things work and different things. Like there was education behind it, and it was entertaining, and these kids were silly and fun and whatever. And so I watched the video, and then my son says to me afterward, we were watching, and he goes, Dad, aren't you gonna like it? Aren't you gonna like heart it or whatever? And I looked at him and I was like, yeah, I am. I should, huh? And he's like, yeah. He's like, they put a lot of work in that. You should like it. And I was like, dang, son, just laying down the truth this afternoon. I mean, he was so right about that. And I realized that it doesn't take much effort, but at the same time, you don't always think to do it. So to be willing to subscribe to a channel, to like a channel, to share a channel, like to do that, it takes effort and it takes a love and a giving spirit to do that rather than to just watch, soak in the content and not be willing to give and to share and to love and to spread somebody else's message. And I might think to myself, well, these guys, I mean, what do they need it for? They've already got 1,000 likes or 1 million likes and 10 million shares, and like they don't need. Yet they do. Yes, they do. They're putting out good work. They deserve it. 100% they deserve it. And why not you be one of the next people to help share their stuff? Why not? And especially if you find somebody who's doing great work who doesn't have a huge following yet. Share it. My goodness. Please share our channel. If you like what we're doing, share it, man. Share it, subscribe to it, like it. It's unbelievable because we're trying to build an audience organically. And because I just believe in that. I believe that the long-term success, it comes from that place. So that anyway, that's it. Build a following. Now, you do need a following eventually because, again, it goes back to value sometimes. You're going to get paid what you're worth. Now, if I can bring a certain skill set to the set or to my job, great. And if I can bring a following to come with my skill set, boom. That's huge because now when I hire you, I'm hiring not only your skill, but I also get automatically your followers. So we've had tons of really cool people on the show, tons. But there's no doubt that it makes sense and we understand the value when somebody comes on and they've got 200,000 followers. It's like that we obviously know that that's good for us.
Yeah.
Obviously. So when we have you on the show, like we're going to want you on the show, but at the same time, we know, we pay attention. What are you doing? And for me, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It matters in which direction are you going right now. Are you climbing? Are you ascending? Are you producing? And production could be as simple as putting up a very purposeful Instagram post once a day or 3 times a week. And you go there and you're like, oh, you're producing a channel, a platform of some kind. It's very purposeful. That's a form of production. So when I say become a producer, I mean it. I mean, that's got to be a part of your job because by you learning to write, learning to produce, learning to educate yourself in these different ways, no matter what your profession, but especially as an actor, you're going to learn so many vital skills that are going to then connect when it's time to perform. And then if you're in any other job, you should be doing the same thing. I mean, name the job, and I'll tell you, there's a place for you to be a producer within that job that would benefit you long term by doing it. You could be in, I won't even name them all. You could be in anything. You could be in any job, and then you could find a way to produce some of the things that you're good at, that you love, and put on some kind of a creative twist, and it will benefit you long term. All right, I think that's it, Joey. I think that's the chapter on be a producer, essentially there. Remember that you're a startup. Remember that you need to invest in your business, and you need to aim for happy and repeat customers. That's very important. All right, gang, that is our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this channel. Help us spread this light-driven content to the planet. Thank you, and God bless.
Thanks for listening to Mornings with Matt. Please like, subscribe, and follow us at Deering Acting Studio to keep up with the latest content. For more information on classes, private lessons, or professional development coaching, visit www.deeringstudio.com. Have a Deering day, everyone.